right, say hi to y'all
All right.
YouTube folks.
All right. Hey.
What are they gonna hear tonight?
Hold on.
We do not own this music.
Well, we
I'll
can turn it down.
see it. You don't hear it.
Hey, family. You also can call in at 602-633-2662. You can check us out
Thanks everybody for watching.
on Instagram at KRDP_radio, Twitter at KRDP_radio, Facebook at KRDP.radio. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just Google KRDP Radio Feeds YouTube. They are on YouTube Live and direct from the Valley of the Sun. About to get into Thursday Night Football. Daniel Snyder out here tripping. We're gonna talk about the Eagles and the Cowboys, the Bills and the Chiefs.
Thanks for watching.
So,
Can you post a video to
listening right
Instagram?
now.
Posted. I'm on Instagram.
If you're listening right now,
I'm on.
But I
live.
mean, like the station Instagram. Can we?
tag this and let people come in.
Oh,
and
from
live.
YouTube?
Is it like Facebook or Twitter where you can
Yeah.
kind of tag on it?
You can.
Update
Oh,
on.
not YouTube. I'm not sure. I know you can share it to your Instagram.
Okay.
You can share it.
How do we share it?
It should have the share button on there, but I'm not sure yet how to link it to Instagram. You have to link to Instagram,
Okay.
or you can save it and then.
Oh, I see.
You know what
I
I
see
mean?
what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. The YouTube. I don't see Instagram on here. That's one of the options.
Yeah. I mean, they said there's another app. Was it StreamYard app?
We're about to start. Stay patient.
Where you
We're
can
about to
have
start.
that
Yeah,
app
don't
and
worry
it
about
could
it.
simultaneously have you on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I think Twitter as well. You have all those linked up on that app. You can
Okay.
you can just do the it's called StreamYard.
StreamYard?
Yeah. And that's the ones where everybody has they can do all the fonts and all the the crawls down below
So like
and all
what
that
we're
stuff.
doing.
Right. The app StreamYard. That's what I really need to download myself.
So I need to tell this to let me to embed. Is that what's going on?
Probably.
Try to sound happy. Y'all always sound serious.
Alright, he told us to program manager told us to sound happy.
No, I'm the general manager.
Oh, sorry.
The program director is Kelvin.
General manager told us to sound happy.
Okay, so
Yeah, not the second one. Just go to the. So it's already 5 after.
right, we don't start till 7 actually. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 6 or 7. So we're good. Okay, so how do I get back to the? Wait a minute. Let me- Okay, so.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to copy. They're doing like a Thriller 40th anniversary reissue of Thriller. I'm like, why are y'all keep?
What's that?
They're supposed to be reissuing Thriller for a 40th anniversary.
Did he issue a Thriller?
They're doing a Thriller documentary of her.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They're gonna milk him for every dollar they could get.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
terrible
man.
situation.
Okay.
Be 10 years
Give
from
me
now.
give me a few seconds. I'm just posting on Facebook.
Okay.
Live now on KRDP. Do you guys have a Facebook or anything?
On Instagram.
What is it?
Um,
I can put it in.
Keep it 1
Facebook.
million show.
What,
Keep
number
it,
one?
Yeah, keep it 1 million _ show. I'm not doing Facebook anymore.
It won't let me do it.
No.
That's weird. Aren't they the same
Facebook
company?
be tripping.
Right. Yeah, they always want to link all a certain way and all that. Yes.
Okay, stand by.
Alright, here we go, y'all.
All right, we're back. Keep 1 million show. I'm Dwayne. Got Sean with me,
Yes.
and it is October 13th, 2022.
Yes, it is.
Once again, Thursday night football, and it's a snoozer though. I mean, if you guys remember years ago before Thursday night football became a weekly thing,
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night football was really an afterthought, and it was kind of after October, a little bit after around the Thanksgiving time where they had the Thursday night games, and it was rare, but it was like
I remember.
the games you didn't want to watch on Sunday night, the games you didn't want to watch, none of the marquee games, so it wasn't really a big thing. And then the NFL kind of seen something and put it more. And then you had the ugly color rush jerseys to kind of promote Thursday night football. It didn't work. And then this past couple of years, NFL Network picked it up. Amazon picked it up. Now Amazon bought
Yeah, they bought it.
Thursday night football for billions of dollars, and now it's every, for the past 4 or 5 seasons, it's been every single Thursday in the NFL season, been Thursday night football. And you had a crapshoot of games. Good games, bad games.
Yeah.
It's mostly been bad games, so I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised that this game is a horrible game. It's the Bears and
The
Commanders. I said the Commandos.
The Commandos.
Right. Oh goodness. We
Right.
have a score. It's 7-3 Bears.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta see what Justin Fields is doing, because he was looking like he was pouting over there. He is 11 for 19, 164 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Carson Wentz, 6 for 15, 67 yards.
Yeah.
They're in the
Yeah.
third quarter, mind you. In the middle, towards the end of the third quarter, Ron Rivera had to apologize for what he said about what was wrong with the team, and he blamed Carson Wentz, for it. But the proof is in the pudding right now, because he's not doing diddly squat.
What happened to the old school coaches like Dicker and Buddy Ryan that didn't apologize for anything? But what
They're
happened to
long
those guys?
gone. They're long gone. It's not gonna happen. Come on, we're in the cancel culture years. So you gotta apologize. You gotta, everything you say, you gotta backtrack it. These days. But you got the bottom of the pile. Both divisions. Minnesota and Green Bay. Minnesota's at the top of their division in the Central. You have the Eagles at the top of the NFC East. Going to play the Cowboys Sunday.
Yeah. It's gonna be a test.
But I know if anybody's watching on Amazon Prime, I bet you the main focus is not on the game. It's on Daniel Snyder. Because just came out today that he's going to blackmail the NFL if he's ran out of the league. And it's something we've been saying here at the Key 1 Million Show, formerly Mark My Words Sports Show, for, ever since the story broke about Daniel Snyder and the Washington Commanders, formerly the Washington football team, formerly the Washington Redskins. When they basically had cheerleaders, quote unquote, hostage in the Caribbean, taking, naked pictures. And it was on Good Morning America. These women were on there talking about this situation back in, I think, 2018. We've talked about this, every year since, there's sexual assault allegations against Daniel Snyder. There's workplace toxicity allegations. The bunch of emails that came out that the White House and the subcommittees of the Congress has, and he has been subpoenaed and talked to Congress about what was going on. The firing of John Gruden of the Raiders because of the emails. And when we seen all this, we're like, what about all the emails of the owners that they've been corresponding with? What about all the emails, of other NFL officials? And he's been saying in what's been from former and current officials with the Washington team that
we do a thorough exam. We're listening to everything.
He's been saying, there's an ad on the website. Sorry. He's been saying if he's let out of the team, there has to be 24 coaches, 24 owners that can vote him out. If that happens, he's going to put out a lot of stuff on different owners, officials, and Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Man, blackmail is never a good thing. That means that's like your last deal. To me, it's a weak way to go out. You say, and if like Nino Brown said in New Jack City, if I'm going down, I'm taking everybody down with me. Pretty much he's snitching. He's snitching. So that's just really weak to me. You just gotta take your medicine like a man and go out like a man. But Daniel Snyder doesn't want to do that. He wants to take. He doesn't want to go down with the ship. He wants it to be like the Titanic when the band stayed on and kept playing. He wants them to go down with him.
If people remember, he was a rich super fan that had the money, him and his family, to obtain ownership of the team, and the team snowballed from there, from grabbing over the hill players that he loved to,
Didn't he hire Joe Gibbs? Yeah.
No, that's way before. No, he's only been the owner for like almost
Joe Gibbs
20
second time.
years.
Joe Gibbs came back.
The second time. You're absolutely right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that was a bad move.
Yeah, that was.
He also had the whole situation with the name, the Redskins and the Native Americans, the people that were protesting, and he had this crazy stunt about people that actually wanted to keep the name. Most of them were Native Americans, and that was a lie. Mm-hmm. And if you go back to the history of that name and where it came from, it's a doozy. But the issue right now is something that we've talked about, is the fact that he must have something on the NFL and other owners for him to still have a team, because you see what's going on with the Phoenix Suns, where Robert Sarver has to sell the team now because of mounting pressure, which I think should have happened months ago, and that just happened, last couple months. You also see what happened with the Clippers years back. It's the same thing, and it could get worse than the Clippers and the Suns situation, because of also of things of financial improprieties that he's been doing with the team, and not revenue sharing with other teams, which is illegal, and how is he still an owner with that being, they thought that was gonna get him out of there. They're saying that next week the owners meet in New York for some one of their meetings, but they say his situation is not on the table. I don't know why. Then they're saying that things can change, everything can change, immediately and everything like that. But it seems like they don't have 24 owners that's willing to sign off to get rid of him. And I was watching, NFL Network, ESPN, and everything, saying that they possibly want to get his wife to sign over to be the majority stake owner and push him out that way. I doubt that'll happen.
But would he really be pushed out?
Exactly.
I mean, like it's called. He can still be running the team through her.
Exactly. That doesn't make sense either. It seems like he's one of those, I wouldn't call him tyrant, but kind of a tyrant that's gonna go out swinging all the way to the last minute. And to be honest with you, if Roger Goodell wants to save face, he's gonna have to make a move immediately. And I think the move is to get him out of there because, hey, maybe there is some terrible things that he has on owners and Roger Goodell himself. But
Maybe.
if you keep this going, that team's gonna stay where they're at for years and years to come.
Yes, indeed. I mean, not the greatest of organizations, and it's just a bad situation. It's just a bad situation all the way around. I mean, you can't run a business like that, a culture like that. You can't have employees believing that they don't mean anything, that they're not worth anything, and treating not just women, just treating employees any kind of way is not a good thing.
Yeah, if this was any other company, Fortune 500 company, that person would be out immediately. He'd be, they would buy him out, or the board members would vote him out. And that happens all the time, but not in the good old boys club. I mean, these like you're saying, these are billionaires versus millionaires, and privately, 10 times out of 10, the billionaires are gonna win.
Yeah, privately owned organizations.
Right. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Davante Adams, the game against the Chiefs, and now he's being charged with misdemeanor assault for pushing the photographer at the end of the game after that loss.
Uncalled for.
Keep 1 Million Show. We'll be back. Keep it locked right here.
Okay, you're clear 1 minute.
Huh?
You're clear 1 minute. Until you come back. All right, stand by.
Edward. Keep 1 Million Show. We're back. If you guys want to call in, it's 602-633-2662. Is the number to call if you have any opinions or anything about what's going on in the past week of the sports world. Like I said, Davante Adams charged with misdemeanor assault for that push after the 1 point loss against the Chargers. An obvious frustration after that game. They go for 2 points instead of going for the extra point to tie the game up. And they ultimately lose. He's walking to, to the tunnel, and you see is two different angles. One angle is right behind him where he's walking. It looks like he just pushes him out the way. And then the other angle, the photographers looks like he's walking in front of him like he doesn't see him. And then Davante Adams pushes him, and it says he's filed press charges for misdemeanor assault. He's been injured.
That's his right.
And it says most likely it won't, he won't be charged actually, because this happens a lot in the NFL where assault charges has happened, but most likely on the field. This is off the field with a non-football player. But I would say 9 times out of 10, this will be in civil court where he's definitely going to get sued. And the frustration not just comes with that loss, but I think it comes with that the team is losing. He's not used to losing, being with Green Bay. This is his first season with the Raiders. And, I mean, you got to think, the past couple seasons he's been the best wide receiver in the game. They've been to back-to-back NFC championship games. He goes to the Raiders to link up with his buddy, Derek Carr, his ex-schoolmate, both played for Fresno State together. And now they're 1-4 now.
Yeah, 1-4.
1-4, and just got beat by one of their rivals in the AFC West.
Yeah.
So, would you? If anybody who talked about the Raiders being a playoff team, would you cash your chips in right now?
Might want to. I mean, it was no excuse for what he did. I mean, he could have just moved him out of the way. Excuse me, get out of the way. Or if you want to use explicitives and like get the bleep out my way or whatever, I get that. He's frustrated, but I mean, what's the point of pushing a man that's half your size out of the way? It made no sense. It was a bit of a bully tactic. I mean, he's not going to do any jail time. It's probably going to be settled out of court. It's probably not going to even go to court. It's going to be settled out of court. My issue is his strategy was to wait for Aaron Rodgers to sign his deal. Aaron Rodgers signed his deal. I thought he was going to sign back with Green Bay, and he should have. I mean, but he wanted to go roll with his homeboy, go with his college mate, and try to make things happen. And it's not working out. Now, I'm not saying they can't turn it around, because they possibly can turn it around. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl champion, former Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. I mean, Derek Carr is good, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, I think he made a bad decision with this one.
And you see the difference was going on in Green Bay as well, as their wide receiver core is not doing well, as obviously, because they don't have Davante Adams. But I think his frustration, I think, is the fact that the offense is not the way he thought it would be.
Yeah.
He has 414 yards this season.
Okay.
He does lead the team. 29 receptions, 414 yards, 5 touchdowns. But that's it. The next guy has 1 touchdown. Is Hollis as a wide receiver.
Okay.
Darren Waller has only 1 touchdown, and Bolden has a touchdown. He's gonna do a huge bulk, of the work over there with the Raiders. And also, is Josh McDaniels that guy? Remember him back in Denver? He failed in Denver. He goes back to New England. He tries with the Colts for one day. Obviously, there's no Andrew Luck. Then he leaves, goes back to New England. I mean, really, the issue is McDaniels that guy? Is he the right coach for the Raiders?
Well, that coaching tree with Belichick, how many of those coaches actually did well after they left Belichick?
None of them.
Yeah,
they haven't done well at all.
So I mean, it's something about that. He goes back, like I said, the prodigal son. He leaves, Faza, he wasted some talents or whatever, and he goes back. That just shows me that. I mean, I respect Bill Belichick as a coach, but for some reason his coordinators under him, his coordinators under him don't do well. Like if you look at Andy Reid, his proteges do well for some reason.
Right, exactly.
Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl.
I really thought McDaniel was gonna stay and wait for Belichick to retire and take over.
I think that might have been the plan.
And take over, but well, Belichick's looking like Tom Brady. He's like he's never gonna retire.
Yeah.
Well, from one coach to another, McDaniel's maybe on the hot seat, but Matt Rule is off the hot seat. He's in the trash. You know,
he's gone.
He's burnt to a crisp. Matt Rule has been fired this past week. They just had the Panthers with a 1-4 start. They bring in they bring in who they bring in? The quarterback.
Oh, PJ Walker. PJ Walker?
Well, PJ Walker starting, but then they brought in Baker Mayfield. Excuse me. They brought in Baker Mayfield from Cleveland with that trade, and he's injured now. He has a high ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't doing too well at all. Sam Darnold's nowhere to be found, you know. And now you have P.J. Walker, an XFL player, who's been on the team for a few seasons now, so he knows the offense, he knows the play calling and everything. Steve Wilkes is going to be the interim coach, but they're 1-4, just like the Raiders, which people thought Carolina was going to do something. Now, are they done? I think they are, especially in the NFC South. When you have the Saints and the Bucks, really it's the Bucks, division to lose. I think they run away with it, obviously.
They should.
But I don't know what they're doing over there in Carolina. You have, a great running back,
Christian McCaffrey,
but he keeps getting hurt.
Yeah.
You really can't solve the quarterback situation. Kind of like in the Commanders situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always had a good defense, but they offensively, they can't get it together.
Yeah, they tried to bring Cam Newton back, and that didn't work.
Right. They got beat 37-15 by the 49ers with Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo's looking like the second coming. Garoppolo. He looked at the second coming of Garoppolo. You know what I mean?
Jimmy G, he's always been solid though. Jimmy's always been solid.
Yeah.
It was a reason why Tom Brady didn't want him. He's always been a solid guy, a solid quarterback.
Right, exactly.
Locker rooms like him.
But I think the big quarterback controversy is Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott. I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Me neither.
But this is the most interesting story in the NFL right now because this is the Cowboys in a nutshell. If you really look back in the past, all the way back from the Troy Aikman years to now, you have Tony Romo. He was injured. Dak Prescott's right behind him. Dak Prescott wins four straight. And then Tony Romo, remember, this is the end of Tony Romo's career.
Pretty much.
He basically just, he's the guy now. I'm going to back him up. He gracefully bowed out, which was very respectable. But this happens a lot with the Cowboys, and now you see Cooper Rush. They're 4-1, about to go against the Eagles, which is a marquee matchup this weekend. What do you think will happen if Cooper Rush not only wins, not only the Cowboys win, but if Cooper Rush is the reason why they win? What do you think happens with that story now?
Oh, I'll be crying as an Eagle fan. I'll be crying.
Right.
So, but all right. Let's take the hypothetical. What'll happen? It has to be a decisive win, though. It can't be like a last second.
But what I'm saying is, now they're winning by defense. They're the best defensive team in the league. Yeah. But what if they win because of Cooper Rush? Like 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. he's throwing it, he's slinging it like Joe Montana.
Okay, with that, it's gonna be tough, but they owe Dak Prescott a lot of still owe him a lot of guaranteed money. So you gonna let that guaranteed money sit on that bench? So it's hard to say, but Jerry Jones has been known to do some things, and don't get it twisted. Jerry Jones still has some say. He has some say.
Right.
I mean,
A lot of say,
he
not
will
just a little bit
override the
say.
coach.
Right, but the thing is, we're not back in the day anymore where the notion is when the starting quarterback comes back from injury, he starts.
Yes.
Now, this could be a different case. Obviously, he's making $40 million a year. You know, it was a thumb injury, one of those common freak accidents where a quarterback hits his thumb on a defender's helmet. Russell Wilson's happened to him. This happened to Drew Brees and others.
Mhm.
The issue is he going to be 100% healthy? And this is why, okay, you got a stopgap here. You're winning games with this backup quarterback. Are you going to keep him in while he's winning, if they keep winning, so Dak Prescott can be 100% healthy, you know, for that long stretch, November, December, January? Or are you going to bring him in and they say, oh, yeah, he's ready to play, and he's saying that himself, he wants to play now, and then something happens and he's not? Because we've seen it happen last year with Russell Wilson where they threw him in there, and next thing you know, he's looking like he's shanking a 9-iron, you know, all the way to the trees.
Yeah.
How he
I
was
remember
throwing the
that.
ball, he was very inaccurate. I mean, I think that's that line you can't cross.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have him 100% healthy. But do you ride the hot hand?
That's a good question. I mean, and that's why they pay McCarthy the big bucks to make that decision. I would say ride the high hand. Just ride it
Well,
out.
I wouldn't listen to him. He's had some questionable decisions,
That is
especially
true.
on the
That
field.
is true.
So I mean that has to go with the GM, and Jerry Jones.
Jerry.
He's
Yeah.
that guy. So, what do you think about that game
Oh, that game.
coming up? Cowboys, Eagles. Eagles are favorite in that game. It's in.
What are they playing? They playing in Jerry World?
Let me see. It's in Philly.
So Philly at the Link. Okay.
It's a Sunday night game.
Sunday night game at the Link.
Philly's 6-point favorite.
So that Dallas defense is tough. Micah Parsons is not like he is the second coming of Lawrence
Don't
Taylor.
say that. That's disrespectful to all Giants and Giants fans.
But
Past, present, and future.
Well,
that is disrespectful.
I will say this: he's a bad brother. Like that Micah coming off that
he's
court.
bad.
But that just means it's going to probably take a running back out of like so they might have to bring Miles Sanders over to chip block him to stop him or something. But I believe this is a test for Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts could pull this out and beat that defense, and we go 6-0, which is quite possible. I believe it's a. I just believe it would be a good
Music.
game.
The music.
And I believe
underneath,
that the Eagles
like the
will pull this
NFL
out.
music.
It's going to be tough, though. It's not going to be an easy game. And we just have to, the defense just have to put pressure on Cooper Rush. Now, this is, like I said, it's a test for Jalen Hurts to see what he can do against a quality defense.
I got the Eagles. Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
he's a star. They have a great offense
Mhm.
with Devontae Smith and great offensive line. They have a good defense, but I think their offense is going to outshine the Cowboys' offense.
Think so?
So let's say if it goes to a shootout, they're not going to be able to compete. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah. I think if it's sorry.
It has to go to a shootout. If it gets to a slow game,
When they grinding it
something
out.
like that, Dallas has a chance because of their defense. You know what I mean? To keep it a 1-score game or 3-point game, then they have a chance, say in the field goal or a last second, a touchdown in the red zone or something like that. But I'm gonna go to 5 games NFL. And I'm gonna pick you got obviously the Eagles.
Yes.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Giants, Baltimore in New York. Baltimore's a 3.5 favorite.
Giants.
Okay, with the upset, I'm also going to go there as well. The Giants are highly disrespected at 4-1, the most disrespected 4-1 team right now. And Colin Cowherd's top 10, they wasn't even in the top 10. They had the Chargers there. But I say they squeak it out. They next, Miami. Favorite 3 points at home versus Minnesota.
Miami over Minnesota. I'm
Miami
taking
versus Minnesota. Who
I'm
do you got?
taking Minnesota.
Passing your pen. Yeah. You taking Minnesota. Kirk Cousins. Okay, I'm gonna take Miami on that one. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. He's doing good this season. I still don't trust him. I'm gonna give you an easy one. Rams at home versus Carolina. Rams are a 10-point favorite.
Take the Rams.
Gotta take the Rams there. That's an easy one for everybody. Your fan duelers and your sports book people. If you want some easy money, you take the Rams. The other big game, Kansas City at home versus Buffalo. Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite.
I'm gonna take Buffalo because they have something to prove. I believe Buffalo could pull it out.
I'm gonna take Kansas City. They're on a hot streak. They just come off a win of the Raiders.
Yeah.
And remember last season they couldn't beat the Raiders. So they beat the Raiders. They're one of the best teams right now. They beat Buffalo time and time again, especially at home. You got to go with Patrick Mahomes. Got to go with my homeboy. And let's go with Cleveland at home versus New England. New England's a 1.5-point favorite. You see the trend here?
I'm gonna take Cleveland.
I'm gonna take New England. But the trend is a lot of away teams are favorite this week.
I'm starting to see that.
So, one last one, the Monday night game. Chargers are at home, 4.5 favorite versus Denver.
Chargers.
Also the Chargers. I think Denver's done for. This is going to be it where that coach may get fired.
After only his first year.
Well, Matt Rule got fired in the middle of the season. We're going to come right back with college football and their new top 10. Keep it locked right here. Keep 1 Million Show.
Okay, clear 1 minute.
Say again?
Feel free to grab yourself a bottle of water in case you need the. Feel free to grab yourself a bottle of water. From
Yeah.
The
My
microwave.
throat is getting
I don't want you.
I got
dying
something
on
to
this.
drink right here. I know. It happens. It's like when it's hot. You know what I mean? Like it's warm. My throat always like this.
All right, stand by.
Okay. And we're back. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
I don't know my cues. Thanks, Kaja. Working the board. I'm used to being on the board, so I'm over here looking at things and trying to set it up. So college football, you have a new top 10. This is gonna be our top 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
Being lazy here, but there's 2 top 10s because
It's the
you
AP
got
and
the
the
AP,
coaches,
yeah,
right?
AP 25 and the coaches poll. If you guys know, the playoff rankings is not coming, I think, until the end of the month or next month. So at 10 on both polls, you have Penn State.
Okay.
At 9 on both polls, you have Ole Miss. Number 8 in the top 25, the AP, Oklahoma State's 8. Tennessee is 8 in the coaches poll. Number 7, USC in the AP. Oklahoma State is 7 in the coaches poll. Number 6, Tennessee in the AP. And USC in the coaches poll. Number 5, Michigan in the AP. Clemson in the coaches poll. Number 4, a flip-flop, Clemson in the AP, Michigan in the coaches poll. Number 3, Alabama in the AP, Ohio State in the coaches poll. Number 2, Ohio State in the AP, Georgia in the coaches poll. And number 1, Georgia in the AP and Alabama in the coaches poll. So it's all jumbled at the top 3. Basically, just pick them. And the issue is really Alabama. Alabama 24 to 20. They beat Texas A&M. They don't have their starting quarterback. They end up with their backup, who's not that great. He's a freshman. His name is Jalen Milroe. And the beef between Alabama and Texas A&M was going on this whole past season, the off season, with referring to the NIL and allegations that Alabama was buying players. Alabama was saying Texas A&M was buying players. Jimbo Fisher taking throwing shots at Nick Saban. Remember, Jimbo Fisher was his offense coordinator years ago, and Nick Saban is still undefeated against. No, he's not. He's not. Georgia's coach actually finally beat him. For the SEC title. So he has one loss against his former coaches. But it seems like this past couple of games, Alabama's kind of took the foot off the gas. And remember, this isn't the NFL where a win is just a win. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. With college football, you have to have some style points. You have to blow a team out, especially a team in your division, a team in your conference. And especially a non-conference team like your Louisiana States of the world. You gotta beat them by 70 to at least stay where you're at, even if you beat them. So Georgia 42 to 10 against Auburn, and Ohio State 49 to 20 against Michigan State, which is that's in their conference, in their division. So when it comes to college football right now, Alabama, they can hang with the big boys, but I don't think it matters for Nick Saban right now to stay number 1. What do you think? Do you think they're still just waiting for the quarterback to get back, or how do you think that's working out for them?
For Nick Saban, it never mattered. With number 1, it just mattered towards the end of the season, that playoff, that playoff schedule. So I think he's gonna field the best team possible. Nick Saban's not a fool. He's going to field the best team possible, and he's going to try to win games any way he can. So, and the SEC is brutal. SEC is brutal. You got teams out there. They can lose on any given Saturday to a rival team. So Nick Saban's going to take his time with this.
Right. Yeah, Bryce Young, who's their starting quarterback, the ex-Heisman Trophy winner, you know, he's possibly could come back next week.
Okay.
But they have a huge drop-off at quarterback without him. So it's an issue, you know, if they don't have Bryce Young, who is really a superstar right now when it comes to college football.
What year is he in right now?
He's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He's one of the, I think, if not the first or the second player to win Heisman as a freshman. So
Yeah, Johnny Manziel won it.
yeah,
Freshman.
right. So you know, I will say Alabama. They still gotta get past Georgia. Ohio State's looking like actually the team to beat when it comes to
Old State.
actual, you know, college football, and still got Michigan there.
Yeah.
I've been a Michigan fan for a while, so
Yeah.
I think those are gonna be your 4 teams,
Big
all going all the way to the playoff. I mean, who do you think would crash that party with those 4? Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama.
Oh, who could crash into the top 4?
Yes.
Let me see that list. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go by the AP. Clemson. Oh no, that's outside. According to the
who can crash that party? Who can get into that top 4? You know, and knock one of them off.
I think Michigan. Michigan can get in there. Michigan can get in there, and that's according to the AP. Then the coaches poll. You know, Clemson. You know, you got that Clemson coach Dabo. He always gonna field a good team. So I'll say Clemson or Michigan.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that. I would say Clemson, but I don't trust the quarterback. I don't trust DJ. It's so hard to pronounce his last name. Ugalayana. See, I can't say it. It's very bad. But going to HBCU news.
Yeah.
What do you think about what happened with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and what happened with the Alabama State and the Jackson State beef?
Was that Eddie Robinson Jr.?
Yes.
Well, Eddie Robinson Jr., he's the son of Eddie Robinson Sr., the great Eddie Robinson Sr. Grambling State. He's a SWAC guy. He's played there. He's in the SWAC Hall of Fame. He had a pretty good pro career as well. You know, Coach Prime is Coach Prime, man. One of my favorite NFL players of all time.
Right.
I like what he's doing with Jackson State. I like how he speaks about the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. He really speaks eloquently about it and gives you a lot of information. Now, what happened on the field? People have to understand. You know, after the game, they go to shake hands, and I think he shook the hand, and he kind of pushed Prime away, right, because they got blown out. So, and Prime said, you know, it was just a money grab for Alabama State because it was their homecoming. You know, normally you schedule a cupcake for homecoming so you can win the homecoming game. But I believe Alabama State got like $1.5 million, something like that for the game.
Okay.
Something like that. So Coach Prime is saying it was a money grab. Now, the whole thing about the shaking hands, people get mad at me when I say this. I think at a certain level, shaking hands is overrated. I mean, it is. This is just overrated. Like, why do you have to shake hands? You know, people have been dogging the bad boy Pistons out for years for not shaking the Chicago Bulls' hands. Like,
it's a level of respect. You know what I mean? Like a good game. You know, sportsmanship.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: when it comes to them two in particular, there's been beef that past week.
Mm-hmm.
There's been Twitter beef. There's been like his son has a YouTube channel, and you know, the thing is, and I think was kind of to me what was disrespectful from Eddie Robinson was when he said in a press conference, "I'm SWAC, you're not SWAC." It's like, what do you mean by that? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then they come back with these SWAC sweaters and all that, you know, on TikTok, which Coach Prime and his team did. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting rivalry if Deion Sanders stays in HBCU. Speaking of, his son Shador Sanders, he signs a huge, big NIL deal
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Tom Brady's apparel.
Okay.
Yeah, and his NIL deal is valued at 1.2 million, which is number 14 on the NIL
Go get the bag.
100 list. I didn't know there was a list, but
Yes,
there is.
a list.
There's a lot of young players getting a lot of money on these NIL. If anybody doesn't know, name, image, and likeness deal. These players are actually getting paid,
Yes, they are.
endorsements, which is an excellent thing, and it's great that. Matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that if you didn't see the Tom Brady that commercial, there's a commercial out. I think he's in that commercial. Shador Sanders.
I have to pull that up.
I think he's in that commercial. It's like a quick commercial.
Mhm.
Tom Brady's in there for a second. I
Okay.
think there's a Morgan Freeman talking,
Okay.
and I think he's in there at the end. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So shout out to Jackson State and Dion getting his players the deals, and I think people are the other HBCUs and SWAC and MEACs. They're butthurt over that because their players aren't getting those deals as well. But yeah, star power.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these coaches are most of them ex-NFL players and whatnot, but they don't. No one has the star
They're not
power
prime.
of
They're not prime.
Deion Sanders. He's one of the greatest players
Ever.
in NFL history.
Yeah.
You know, one of the rare two-sport players and everything, and he has two sons who possibly can make the league.
Yes. Yes.
Could possibly make the league, and his son at quarterback. I'm not gonna say anything like all the others, sports media says about black quarterbacks, but I think he can make it. He can
Okay.
possibly make it. They're talking about people saying he could be a Heisman Trophy candidate, but that's not gonna happen because he's in the HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys don't watch HBCU games and whatnot, I would implore you to at least watch one or two. The halftime shows
It's all about the
a
band.
lot of times are better than the games, but I think Jackson State is and Deion is showing that HBCU teams can play, and they can play with the best of them. Hopefully, maybe we'll see a Division I team, try to play them, but I think that'll be.
I have a question. Steve McNair, he went to Alcorn State. Didn't he go up for a Heisman Trophy?
I think so. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but he possibly did.
Yeah.
I think way back in the day, there has been,
been a
football
few.
players that been nominated for Heisman Trophy, So hopefully he gets some nominations. So hopefully he does,
Yeah, those are the coaches though. They just gotta figure out how to get their players recognized. I mean, I know Prime has the he has the cachet, but you just have to work 10 times harder, to get your players recognized and help them get the bag. That's all. Ain't nothing to be mad about.
Right.
Shoot, and my pastor always says, he said, nothing wrong being a copycat, just copy the right cat.
There you go. And I'm gonna get to some college games, and let's pick some of these college games
let's go.
right now. A Big Ten matchup.
Mhm.
Michigan at home versus Penn State, number 5 versus number 10. Michigan is a 7-point favorite.
Now I love me some
Who you
Penn
got?
State. I mean, I from Philadelphia, so Penn State's about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive to get to Happy Valley. I'm gonna have to go with Michigan.
Yeah, I got Michigan as well. McNamara, their defense is great.
Yeah.
Go with Michigan. Another good game. Alabama, number 3 versus Tennessee, number 6. I did not see Tennessee at all being in the top 10. Alabama's a 7-point favorite.
Where they playing at? They playing
Playing in Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
That could possibly be upset city there.
I'm gonna go upset city.
You're going to go upset city,
I take
Tennessee? I'm going
Yeah.
to take Alabama. Possibly be upset city. You see what happened last week with Alabama and Texas A&M. So I think a lot of players are a lot of people are going to pick Tennessee on that one. Clemson, Florida State. Florida State's at home. Clemson is only a 3.5-point favorite. This is an ACC matchup, big ACC game here. Who you got?
Clemson.
Clemson. I'm gonna go upset here. I'm gonna go Florida State. Coach Norvell, he's on the fence. He's almost in the hot seat. But if he beats Cleveland, he's very off the hot seat there. So, and then one last one. I'm gonna go Big 12.
Okay.
Number 8 Oklahoma State versus number 13 TCU. At home, TCU is a 4-point favorite. Who you got?
TCU.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma State there.
The Horned Frogs.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma State. You got TCU. So there you have it. Like I said, for all you fan duelers and sports bookers, the home team, if the home team's a dog, I think you go with the dog. And for that, we'll be right back with more Keep It 1 Million show.
Okay, you've got 9 minutes. So if you want to
All right.
walk around and
Yeah.
do whatever.
We'll go back real quick.
Hey, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel KRDP and the Keep 1 Million Show channel. I gotta update it, but okay. Something to drink. What's up, Gabe? Cooper Rush better than Dak? Oh, we'll see. That $40 million is different, though. Dak's going to be back on the field. Uh-oh. Driving. Washington's up. He still ain't scored a touchdown. What the hell happened? Oh, Ryan played 17 jersey yards. Oh, they had a 2-point conversion. So Washington's up 12-7.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it all field goals? Any touchdown?
Brian Robinson with the 1-yard touchdown and then a 2-point conversion.
Hey,
They kicked a field goal too. Oh, the attempt failed. Oh, okay. Because it was going to be 14-7. Okay. Right. And Chicago's driving right now. 52 seconds left. They just got a first down. Washington called timeout. The hell? Did he just run for like 50 yards? Looks like the Bears are gonna win this game. What the hell just happened? Oh wow. Oh wow. He just ran like a 40-something yard run.
Who's this? Brian Robson?
No. Fields. Justin Fields.
Oh.
To get them in the range to win the game. They're at the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal now, though. I don't know why you throwing the ball for. On the 4.
Yeah, just run.
Right.
Especially
Anybody watching the game?
Especially with first down.
See Justin Fields? Another incomplete pass. Washington player was injured on the play. They're gonna lose this damn game. That's crazy. They gotta go for a 4th down.
He says 12-7, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they gotta go for it.
Seconds left. How many minutes?
4.
They should maybe try to do play action on first down. Or, I don't know.
You know what? Who's their backup quarterback?
Who, Washington?
Yeah. What's his name? Is it Heineke?
That's a good
I'm gonna
question.
look at it right now.
That's a really good question.
Yep, Heineke. Let's see him how. I really think you gotta think about putting Heineke. Oh no! He threw the ball again on. They just won the game unless they try to do something. They tried to throw the ball again. And fucking,
Oh, you talking about Chicago?
they just lost. They tried to throw the ball at like the 1-yard line. And fucking got, I don't know why you don't do that. Why you don't run the ball right there?
That's that Pete Carroll stuff, man.
Why you don't run the ball right there?
In Chicago, they got some running back name Montgomery, David Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah.
Well, game over. And to keep 1 million shows live, I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
Sean with me. We're on KRDP 90.7 FM
Yes, sir.
live on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Instagram. You can call in 602-633-2662. And this game is over 12-7. Washington over Chicago. Chicago had a chance to win the game and literally, well, not literally fumbled the bag, but they fumbled the bag.
They threw the game away.
It was like 50 seconds left. Justin Fields runs like a good 40-something yard run to get them down to the 4-yard line. And they throw 4 straight incomplete passes instead of trying to run the ball. They were down 12-7, get a touchdown. You win the game. With you know what I mean? You win the game. It's crazy.
T. Carroll the coach in Washington.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I was trying to look at what people talking about with Twitter, and they're just, yeah, they just can't stand it. They're not. No one's even talking about this game. It's so bad. You know what I
We
mean?
got a good running back too. David Montgomery ain't no bum.
Right. Sportscaster Josina Anderson said, "Terrible game, over to Netflix." You know what I mean? It's that. And I don't know the whole Thursday night lineup, but I think every Thursday night is not going to be a good game. But
And the thing about Thursday games, don't the teams they play on Sunday, right? Then they turn around and got to play on Thursday, right?
yeah, short week. It's a very short week.
Yeah.
But really going back to Chicago, that play calling is terrible. That play calling is horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
Justin Fields just has, I mean, he scrambled, but he has a great run, probably the best run of the game. And you don't do a designed run for him right there with 4 yards, 30 seconds left. I mean, come on, you got to give him the ball instead of trying to throw a tight window at, 1 yard. I mean, I hate that play.
Yeah.
I hate that play. Ever since, like you said, Pete Carroll, the Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
that interception in the Super Bowl at the 1 yard line instead of giving the ball to
Beast mode.
Marshawn Lynch. And then really this win for Washington, it's kind of real big fool's gold, because if you look at the stats, Carson Wentz, 12 for 22, 99 yards, no touchdowns, 3 sacks, quarterback rating is 66. Robinson, which is probably their best story of the season, comes back from being shot twice. He hit 17 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. That's their only touchdown. The touchdown, a couple field goals. That's it. 12-7. You know what I mean? On the other side, Justin Fields not that great either. 14 for 27, 190 yards, a touchdown and interception. Quarterback rating is 71. He also had 12 carries for 88 yards rushing, which he should have more, and a touchdown. They could have won the game there. Montgomery, 15 carries for 67 yards. And then Herbert, 7 carries for 75 yards. It was doing a lot on the ground, but they didn't do much more, because looks like that was their only effective way of offense.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep that going right there to try to win the game?
I don't know. I mean, everybody tries to be the smartest person in the room, and they just want to outsmart everybody when just run it run it down their throat, just pound it.
Right. I mean, when you have all this analytics and all that saying the percentage of this and that when it comes to third down, fourth down, red zone situations, goal line situations. But then you see actually what works in those situations, and they go away from that. It's like, well, who's really running the show? Is it always analytics, or is it, the coach going with his gut or going with the hot hand at the time? Because really, the hot hand is Justin Field and his running ability right there.
I think Jalen Rose said it best. Either him or Stephen A. They say analytics gonna get you fired. Like, so.
Yeah, in the NFL, it possibly can. And I would say another coach on the hot seat is the Bears coach, and also Riverboat Ron Rivera. He's on the hot seat. I mean, this saves him another week winning a game. But I think if he lost, especially how that game was played, he most likely would have been fired as well. And then, what do you do with Carson Wentz? What can you do? I mean, you can't trade him. What do? You're stuck with him. Do you bench him and put in Heineke?
They traded for him, from Indianapolis. Here's the funny thing: when he was in Philly, I actually was one of the people that's like, hey, had his back a little bit. But after the last few years, I'm like, I was wrong about that, especially after seeing Jalen Hurts play. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
behind
know.
the scenes, it seems like he's not a likable person.
Yeah, the locker room doesn't galvanize.
Yeah, don't know how that is, but I think you got to try something different. Put in Taylor Heineke. I think you have to. I mean, you see what happened the last couple seasons with Heineke. Yeah, he made some plays and he got some wins and got the team rallied around him, and had some excitement there when they went to the playoffs and they won the division. They got smoked by Tampa Bay, but still, like they had some kind of momentum going into the playoffs. I think you got to look at benching Carson Wentz. He's terrible. He looks so bad. Seriously, you got to think about benching him. I mean, it's over. I think like you said, the Stephen A. Smith was like he may be out of the league.
Yeah, he may be.
I mean, you can't trade him. No team's gonna want him, and if you bench him, you're gonna have to just send him home, and that's gonna be it for him. So I think for Riviera to save his job, you have to bench him, even if he apologized for saying what he said, but it's the actual fact.
It's messed up because I remember that Super Bowl year when he got hurt. He was having an MVP caliber season. So I'm like, what happened? I'm like, what happened? And it just goes to show you, I mean, man, he was a first round pick. He was a second.
Well, you mean, gotta look at Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Look at Josh Rosen. Look at these players who were in college. Yeah, they got the big arm and he's, head and shoulders above everybody else, but then they're in a small school. They're playing against 3 and possibly 4-star athletes. They're not playing against 5-star athletes. Josh Rosen kind of was in UCLA, but UCLA wasn't a great team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma, but that was just the system.
Yeah.
That wasn't him. That was a system. I mean, look how many, you churned out two Heisman Trophy players, and then look at both of them, Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. They're not looking great right now in the NFL. Kyler Murray a lot better than Baker Mayfield right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, and then everyone kind of talk crap about Lamar Jackson. Look at Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Look at Jalen Hurts, and people are, maybe he should be a wide receiver. Look at Jalen Hurts. I mean,
It's about what's in you. Though those 2 players you just named, they're dogs.
Exactly.
They don't want to be bad. They want to be good, and they work. I mean, Lamar Jackson.
I don't think those players want to be bad as well. As far as Baker Mayfield and all them, it's just
It's just something about Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. They have something that those other players just
Right, and it's like really, their best years are behind them when it comes to Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, because you were great in college and chip on your shoulder and nobody wanted you, so you had to go above and beyond. But now everybody's better than you. Everybody is a all pro athlete. Everybody is, the 5-star is nothing but 5-star athletes in the NFL.
Yeah.
Compared to in college. So now you've been exposed. You for who you really are. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield, it's like Baker Mayfield may have a couple more seasons left in him.
As a backup.
Carson Wentz, no. Carson Wentz is over. And well, see, Baker Mayfield's lucky because you have a player in Sam Darnold who's not even as good, and they came out of the same draft. So Sam Darnold, you end up having to send him home as well. You know what I mean? So if you look at these players and where they came and how they came out of college and garnered as some of the top quarterbacks, and this may be one of the best quarterbacks classes ever. And if you look at it and you actually redraft, I would say a lot of these quarterbacks would be not even in the first round. Frankly, no, they wouldn't be in the first round. Carson Wentz most likely, but not as high as he went. Sam Darnold, no. Josh Rosen, no. Baker Mayfield, possibly the end of the first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But moving on from those quarterbacks to this quarterback, Deshaun Watson has been hit with another lawsuit, which came out Thursday night. This is now 25 women. He actually settled with 23 of the 24 women. And this incident happened in 2020 with a lady identified as Jane Doe accuses him of seeking sex during a massage session in 2020 and being able to pressure her into oral sex. That is the quote from Cameron Justice. That's following the story. And he's 5 games into his 11-game suspension. So I don't think that's going to add anything to his suspension, but it's a very unfortunate incident, and we're going to come back on the other side and talk about it. Deshaun Watson's new allegation. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Shouldn't you assume your child is crazy if he's talking to a slug, though? Shouldn't you assume your child is crazy if he's talking to a slug, though?
What happened?
I'm just
Oh, the commercial? Oh, right. Just trying to get to the kids.
I used to think the Count was a pimp.
What's that?
I said I used to think the Count was a pimp.
Sesame Street.
Yeah, how you would talk. I get it. And they're in New York City.
Oh, yeah, they are in New York. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it 1 million shows live. I'm Dwayne. Got Sean with me.
Yes, sir.
You want to call 602-633-2662 is the number. And another Deshaun Watson lawsuit has been filed.
My dude.
Now it's 25 women. And
quarter century.
I think, this is going to be, I wonder how big of a story this is going to get. This just came out minutes, right before we got on. And usually social media has the news really quick, instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the sports media comes out the next day and sometimes days later and sometimes even later, on purpose. But I think this is going to be tomorrow morning. They're going to be talking about it, piling on Deshaun Watson. And, hey, it may be even more women coming out after that, But the thing is, he's already been suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the NFL do then?
I don't know. Where there's smoke is fire, though. It's like 25 now, and he's settled. He's settled with a lot of these women, and now
He settled with 23 of the 24.
Yeah, and then now that this one comes out, you're just like, my God, dude. I'm starting to think that this young man has a problem.
You think?
Yeah, he has an issue.
He definitely has a problem.
He has an issue, man. Like I'm like.
But here's the thing.
Dude.
I wonder if there's going to be any penalty or consequences with the NFL, because I think he was adamant that there was no more women. He told Cleveland Browns and the NFL and everybody this was it. You know what I mean? And now another one comes, and then possibly maybe another one, and after it's gonna, I think it may snowball again. It's very, very unfortunate.
And then Cleveland gave him all that guaranteed money.
The most in history, the most ever, and this is why Lamar Jackson is holding out, because you got to see, hey, look what I'm doing, and then look who got the money, $230 million guaranteed. Look what he's doing.
I'm not doing any of that.
So right, exactly. So, and speaking of, law and order and whatnot, I have another story. Remember Ben Gordon, ex-NBA player?
Yes, I remember Ben.
He was just charged with assault.
Mm-hmm.
What happened at LaGuardia Airport, and it was against his own son. He was yelling at his son, punched him several times in the face after the boy dropped a book on the ground. This is been confirmed by police. That was his son. Gordon, he was placed in handcuffs, put in a patrol car. I think the son was given to a family member. He's charged on assault, resisting arrest, contempt, and child endangerment, and was ordered to return to court Friday. This is a terrible situation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this?
There's no reason to ever punch your child. I have children. You have children. We both in the same situation. I have one boy, but I have the rest of my children are girls, and so a little bit different how you deal with girls and boys. But I've been in situations with my son where something that he has been doing all day has been like behavior, and I've been getting upset and more upset, and then it's just one little thing, and it's usually something minimal, one little thing where it just blows up. But I never did that to my son. And I'm not condoning what Ben did to his son, but I'm just trying to get it together in my head. Like so it must have been something else, because he just dropping the book. That's not what blew him up. But like I said, there's no excuse for doing that. I just want him to get help, because you can't beat your children like that at all, whether it's private or public.
This day and age in public, you definitely can't do none of that. They didn't say how old the child was.
Yeah.
So possibly a very young child.
Doesn't matter.
But it's bad news all the way around. Yeah. And in this day and age, you see what happened with Adrian Peterson and all that. Yeah, it's not good at all.
It's not good.
for that to
Adrian
happen.
Peterson thing was a little bit different than that one.
Well, I mean, it's the same, kind
Yeah,
of the
it's the
same,
same,
because
but-
you have children involved, and he's ADP's defended what he did and whatnot. This is obviously possibly a lot worse.
There was another
But-
football player too that was beating his son, and he went through some stuff as well. And I'm not gonna condemn these players like the what's his name, Michael Greenberg from ESPN. He likes to condemn people. I'm not gonna condemn them because a lot of times this is psychological because we raise children how we were raised. So this is ingrained in you. And I'm not saying it's right, but you have to do better. My wife and I, we said we don't want to raise our children in a house where they're scared of us. So you just have to do
Right.
better. And that's what I would say about Ben Gordon. He just has to do better.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Especially how we were raised, black kids in the
Oh,
black, home, black community. Yeah, that's how it was back in the 80s, 70s, where,
Yeah.
you do something outside, you get whooped by the neighbor, then they take you home, you get whooped by your parents, and that was actually not just condoned but legal, because you can get capital punishment as a child in the schools, get the paddle at schools.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that.
and in this day and age, that is highly outlawed. You know what I mean? So
Well, I never liked it back then.
right.
So don't hit my kids, man.
Right.
I got that.
Right. So it shouldn't happen. You gotta change your parenting skills. That's what I would say, this to say the least. And in other news, we got something else going on here. Well, we talked about this earlier, the Daniel Snyder situation, and there's not going to be a vote on Daniel Snyder either being, giving up the team, the Washington Commanders, or having someone else take control of the team. The owners are going to have a meeting next week in New York City, and I think this should be up there. They should change their docket and change everything and have this number one issue, because of he's putting them in a pickle. I mean, what do you do when someone actually just comes out in public, says, if you do this, I'm going to put out information on you guys? I mean, now he's going against, that whole fraternity of owners, NFL owners. I mean, it seems like at once he was trying to protect them or whatever, but with all these emails and whatnot, which has gone to the subcommittees in Congress, and they literally threw John Gruden under the bus. People could say maybe they didn't or whatever, but yeah, they gave him they gave up somebody to not get all their dirty laundry out there. But now he's saying he's going to put the dirty laundry out there, including Roger Goodell's. Well, what do you think about how this is going to play out? Are they going to just stay quiet and not do anything?
I don't think they're going to talk about it at their next meetings. I think they're going to wait and figure it out. And it's just a nasty situation. You never want to see anybody go out like this. Like, oh, if you do this to me, I got this. That's like a last resort. It's being a rat. It's being a snitch. It's like, just take your medicine like a man.
Well, it is his last resort.
Yeah.
He is backed up into a corner, and he has no other cards to play. So if he does have dirt, and which 9 times out of 10 he does, especially with all those
I believe
emails,
he does.
thousands upon thousands of emails. Now he's saying there's investigators that was investigating the other owners and whatnot, and possibly pictures and video and audio of what they're doing. If you remember what happened with Robert Kraft and the issue that went away, you know,
It
the
did go
possibly
away.
other owners
It
with
went away.
issues of that nature, and you know what I mean.
It's strange how that happened.
Well, you got money, it's always gonna happen. You know what I mean? So, we're definitely gonna keep an update on that, and that's a developing story. Moving on to baseball, where we're in the second round of the playoffs. You have the Astros beat the Mariners, and they're up 2-0 in the divisional series.
That dude rocked that home run. He rocked
Yes.
that thing.
Alvarez with a game-winning home run there.
Knocked the skin off that ball.
Yankees and Guardians was postponed due to rain.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees are up 1-0 in that series. The Braves beat the Phillies 3-0. That series is tied 1-1. Padres beat the Dodgers 5-3. That series is tied 1-1. With this series, the Padres and Dodgers, which is a huge rivalry,
San Diego,
Um,
Los Angeles.
can you see the Padres at least getting it to 5 games?
I can see it. But I can see it happening. Will it happen? I don't think so. But I can see it happening. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Right. I have a feeling the Dodgers, they're going to go to San Diego and beat them.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers won out. Just won the rest of the games. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. And then Friday is going to be the makeup game of the Yankees and Guardians,
Yes.
which used to be the Indians. If anybody doesn't remember, they changed their names from the Indians to the Guardians.
They couldn't pick a better name.
They had a
Good
vote,
Lord.
and the Guardians. It has something to do with the city
Okay.
of Cleveland. If you don't know, so it has something to do with Cleveland. That name, so
Alright.
it's specific to that to the city. So Friday you have Yankees Guardians,
Mm-hmm.
which is 10 a.m. Eastern. Philly Braves, 1:37 p.m. Eastern, and Padres Dodgers, 5:37 Eastern.
Okay. All right.
Yankees are favorite. Phillies are the favorite, which I'm surprised there, but they're at home.
Yeah,
And the Dodgers are at favorite with the Padres at home. I'm gonna ask you, who you picking those 3 games?
I think the Phillies are gonna pull it out at Citizens Bank. They'll pull that out. The Yankees are gonna win their game. I believe the Dodgers are gonna win their game.
I got the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Yankees on there. I think the Braves are going to steamroll the Phillies the rest of the way. Sorry,
It's
I
all
think
good.
so. And Dodgers win that series. Yankees going to win the series against Cleveland. If anybody doesn't know, the AL East usually beats the AL Central all the time in the playoffs. No matter who it is, the Twins, the White Sox, Cleveland, doesn't matter. AL East is always dominant over them.
Yeah.
And then what about the Houston and Seattle series?
Houston.
Yeah, I think it needs to be Yankees, Houston, the ALCS. You got to settle that score.
Yankees, Houston.
If anybody knows that whole situation, the cheating scandal a few years ago, 2019. Yeah, I would love that rematch there, Yankees Astros. So, and then you have preseason hockey and the NBA. They call this time the sports equinox, which all sports is on at the same time.
Yeah.
It only happens twice a year, this time and early spring. The Grizzlies beat the Pistons 126-111.
Yeah.
The Thunder beat the Spurs 118-112. What is your take on this whole tit for tat with the Lakers? Westbrook not in the huddle, like a little something with Patrick Beverly. What do you think about that?
I know Patrick Beverly is trying to be the consummate professional. He said we're on the same team now with teammates, but we all know Russell Westbrook. He holds grudges, so he's gonna hold his grudge and everything. But I don't believe Russell Westbrook is gonna be there long. They're trying to trade him, and so what I think is Russell Westbrook needs to get out of his feelings. He has an issue with being in his feelings, being in his emotions. He needs to get out of his emotions and play ball.
Right.
He's your teammate now. Get over it, bro.
And the bigger story with talking about players and their feelings, the Draymond Green situation.
Yeah.
Draymond Green, I mean, if you don't know this, you're under a rock if you're not in the sports world. Draymond Green punches Jordan Poole in the face. Gets on TMZ. The video actually gets on TMZ, which was a practice. Draymond Green apologized. He got fined. They're trying to. The team is trying to get past it. Jordan Poole hasn't said nothing much about it yet. Draymond Green has talked about it. I mean, this is his MO. This is who he is. I used to call him this generation's Dennis Rodman, but it's something different. I think he's this generation's I had the name in my head, but he's a little bit worse than Dennis Rodman, possibly this generation's Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, well,
what do you think about that?
Dennis Rodman never. He wasn't a fighter.
That's what I'm saying.
He was an agitator. He would agitate you and want you to throw the punch and stuff like that. Rasheed Wallace, I never saw Rasheed Wallace throw a punch. I never seen him throw a punch. But he was more of argumentative with the refs and everything like that. Draymond's a little bit different. He has an issue controlling his emotions, and like he cannot. He flails out. He does physical things. He kicks people in the groin.
He has a anger problem.
Yeah, it's anger issues. He needs to control this because what he did to Jordan Poole was you don't do that to a teammate. I mean, Jordan Poole pushed you, okay, but to come back and the punching through. I mean, he connected that. That was with fury.
Exactly.
He connected that thing.
And there's a lot more behind it. We're gonna come back on the other side and talk about more about the Draymond Green issue, but the Keep 1 Million show.
Okay, you're clear. 1 minute.
Okay.
So I'm just going to assume your listeners are very passive.
It's a perfect song, right? This is a perfect song. Here, isn't it? This is the perfect song.
Mm-hmm.
Anger.
Oh,
anger.
Yeah.
Call your song.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What up, Mike Ant? What's going on, babe? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Maul?
But you got to give Super
What's
Bowl
up?
tickets away to get people to call.
Hey, what up,
Probably.
Woody? How you doing? Doing my thing on the radio right now.
What y'all think about Draymond Green?
Yeah.
Should he be traded? Should Draymond Green be traded?
They're not gonna trade him.
Well,
This is a contract year.
Well, I'm gonna get into that. The reason why maybe they should trade him.
Okay, stand by.
And we're back. Keep 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.
That was the perfect song for this
Yes, it was.
this topic. Just gonna let it go. I don't know who is this. I have
Marvin
no
Gaye.
clue.
Sound
It's
like
Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye.
Okay, Marvin Gaye with Anger. Draymond Green, his anger is boiling over, and people forget. And I remember I was watching was it First Things First with Nick Wright
Mm-hmm.
and those guys, Chris Broussard on Fox Sports, and he talked about his Draymond Green's past, and one of them that I forgot was when he hit a young kid at Michigan State when he's out there visiting
Oh yeah.
a few years ago at a bar. Obviously he wasn't caught with a charge, but he possibly should have, or if he did, he pled out and paid the money. But yeah, he has an anger problem. He needs But you say people need help. He needs help because
Yes, he needs
here's
help.
the thing: the underlying issue between those two is they're both are in contract years.
Mhm.
Jordan Poole with his rookie deal, and Draymond Green trying to get an extension, but he's already in his last 2 years of his contract, so he's trying to get an extension. And the thing is, we've talked about this when it comes to Golden State and their nucleus. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry, Iguodala retired.
Oh, he did.
So that was his last season. He's officially retired. So that's one of that core that's retiring. And then you have Klay Thompson coming off of 2 horrific injuries, and seeing if he's going to come back fully healthy. There was rumors of him being traded to the Lakers or to another team, and I knew that was going to happen. I really think ultimately these 3 stay together, stay on the team until they all retire together. They came in together, retire together,
Yeah.
Get those statues, in front of the stadium together, go to the Hall of Fame together. But when there's money involved and you have owners who's looking to win now, keep winning, you have a young core. This is probably the first time we've seen a old core and a young core together on the same team. They win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
They're poised to win a second championship.
Yes, they are.
And now you have this rift between the old guard and the new guard. Does this play out with one of those players having to get traded, because not just to keep the nucleus going or keep the chemistry joyful as Steve Kerr says or whatnot, but money situation when it comes to contracts, and they've been over the luxury tax so many years, and the owner's like, he really doesn't care who's here and who's not as long as they win. Do you think this is it? One of these players has to go?
I believe that Draymond is gone, and they're gonna keep Poole, and Draymond's gonna go elsewhere. I've been reading on the internet that the Lakers are a possibility. Because far too many times this has happened with Draymond, like where he can't control his emotions, and I believe that at a certain point, you get to the point where enough is enough. You're like, hey, I understand that you're the heart and soul of the team, but you know what? You got to go. You got to go.
I get it, but here's the thing. Who do you want on the Lakers? If you trade Draymond Green, I think Draymond's a player. He's one of those players, a special player. He's not offensively, but he can get you defensively.
Oh, yeah.
Stops. He could guard all 5 positions. He can get you those dirty points. He's an agitator, what you need in the playoffs. And he's gonna want to go to a playoff team. He's not gonna want to go to a losing team. The The last time they've been a losing team was back when they were really young.
No, it was a couple years ago too.
Well, yeah, those when it with a way before that as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's gonna want to keep winning as well. I don't think the Lakers. It may not even be in the West Coast team, maybe an East Coast team, but for Golden State to actually wet their whistle, there's gonna have to come back something of value, especially young, youthful, someone like a Draymond, but 5 years younger. You know, a bunch of draft picks. It has to be that. I mean, maybe he's not that valuable. We don't know. Like maybe, you know, what's been going on in the past and what's been going on in the playoffs, not just what he does emotionally, but on the court, he's an offensive liability now, as you've seen in the finals. Yeah, he came through at the end, but he's still an offensive liability. So does that diminish his trade value? You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot to be said there. I would go to the motion to where I think Jordan Poole could be traded. He's young. He has a less money, you know, I mean, contract here and there, but you can get a lot for Jordan Poole. You can get a lot for Jordan Poole. I don't think you can get much right now for Draymond Green. He's kind of hands off. You got, hey, I don't know, you know, if some phone calls or you know, are being had, the other team's going to want Jordan Poole over Draymond Green. You know what I mean? Contract, yeah, I could take the cheap contract over what Draymond Green wants. You know, he's going to want $100 million. You know what I mean? So if you trade someone, I would say you can trade Jordan Poole and get a lot back. Draymond Green, you may not get much back. But moving on, you know, when it comes to what's going on in the NBA, you know, the storylines are going to be everywhere. You know, with the Nets, they're coming back together, and what's going on there with Kyrie, Ben Simmons. They beat the Bucks 107-97.
Okay.
You know, Ben Simmons did play. He's on the court. You know. Let me see his stats here. In this game, he had 7 points.
Yeah.
10 assists, 8 rebounds. See, that's respectable because he's not going to be your offensive player.
No,
I think
he's not.
one of the other big storylines is how Donovan Mitchell plays over there in Cleveland with that, how that trade, you know, that crazy trade happened.
I'm very interested to see that.
They played against Atlanta 105-99. They beat Atlanta. Donovan Mitchell, 24 points, 3 assists, 8 rebounds. You know, you got Garland over there with 23 points. You got, you know, Okoro with 16 points. You know, you have Osman with 16 points. I mean, Cleveland's an interesting team.
That's a young team.
It kind of reminds me of how Atlanta was a few years ago, where they was the surprise team that made the playoffs. Cleveland could be that team as well. You know, what team do you think can be a surprise team next season in the NBA upcoming? I mean, matter of fact, NBA starts next week.
Yeah. So, like you said, Cleveland. Cleveland can be a surprise. I think on the West Coast. So I wanted to say the Clippers, but I mean,
I'm looking at the Clippers now.
Clippers.
You do have everybody healthy.
Yeah, that's why I wanted
Everybody
to say
healthy from the Clippers. Everybody
Okay.
expecting the Clippers to be that team that leapfrogs over everybody, including the Suns, and goes deep into the playoffs.
West Coast, the Western Conference is deep.
Yeah, both conferences are deep.
Actually, they are.
Both conferences are. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and another one, I do want to see what the Suns has got going on because they lost to that New Zealand Australian team. They just lost to Sacramento. They lost by 1 point. I mean, we know it's the preseason, but everyone's actually focused on these teams right now. Want to see how it happens, the DeAndre Ayton situation and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and one last thing, which is outside of sports, and it's something I've seen as weird, weird story.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. Well, it's about emojis,
Hell yeah.
and it seems like the thumbs up emoji is a bad thing.
Oh, it is.
So this has come from the New York Post. The
Okay.
Gen Zs, years and minds of children, they're canceling the hostile thumbs up emoji and wants to ban 9 others. Gen Zers are calling out the popular thumbs up emoji for being rude and hostile, even saying if they feel attacked whenever they see it, usually in the workplace. After a Reddit poster confessed of being not adult enough to be comfortable with the thumbs up emoji reaction, others chimed in and agreed to call the common emojis such as the red heart. Quote, for young people, the thumbs up emoji is used to be really passive aggressive, a 24-year-old Redditor wrote. It's super rude if someone just sends you a thumbs up, they added. So I always had a weird time adjusting because my workplace is the same. Older workers appeared flabbergasted by the reaction, noting to use a thumbs up in work-related signal of I approve or understand or I will obey. What? I just gotta say, what?
Thumbs up always to me always meant like, oh, okay, yeah, like, oh, I'm okay.
And these are other emojis that they have issues with. The thumbs up emoji,
Okay.
the red heart emoji. What? The okay emoji, the hand signal emoji, the check mark emoji. What? The check mark. It's a check mark. The poo emoji, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
The loud crying face. The monkey covering the eyes emoji. The clapping hands emoji. The lipstick kiss mark. And the grimace, the cringe face emoji. So are we saying that emojis weren't emojis supposed to express your emotion
At that moment.
on emails and text messages? You know, now it's the group chats and all that. So you're saying, and this is all via workplace, right? So you're saying someone's in a group chat and talking about work, and someone just puts up a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, I need you to do such and such. That person gives you a thumbs up. That's being attacked. That's feeling passive aggressive. What are you supposed to put in replace of that? Yes, I comply. Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, I don't. What is going on with this world? What is going on with this world?
Every little thing is critiqued.
I don't
now.
understand it.
Every little thing is critiqued. Every little thing is like, oh no, that's offensive. Don't do this. This is offensive. It's like it's getting to the point where you're not gonna be able to communicate with people effectively. It's just,
Right, but here's the thing: they want to communicate in emojis. So right there, that's hypocritical. You want to communicate emojis, so yes, the older generation, okay, we'll communicate in emojis for y'all, and now you feel attacked if I send a thumbs up to answer your question.
Or a red heart? A red heart, really?
And what I read also is that this is specific to go against Gen Xers, which is our generation.
That's me, yeah.
Usually, the Gen Zers and the millennials are going against. Well, I get it now. Gen Zers are going against Gen Xers. Millennials go against baby boomers. I guess. I don't understand. Maybe I'm too old, but what about ageism?
Ageism?
What about being, oh, you're too old? Have you got that before? Let's say you work with someone younger than you, and you say something like, ugh, like you're old. Like,
yeah, I got that from I have a 19-year-old daughter. I got that from her before. Yeah.
I mean, like this is that workplace thing. So I get it at my job, you know. Oh wow, you're old. Or I would just say it just to break the ice. So I'm too old for that. I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah. I'm the old guy. Try to, you know, but it seems like these people feel attacked or passive aggressive for whatever. But if I bring up, hey, y'all are, you know, I feel attacked. You call me old. That's I can't say that.
Yeah.
Now I'm old. I'm a Gen X. I'm old now.
I tell them I'm not old. I'm just wise.
There you go. That's it. And with that being said, I'm Dwayne. Sean Peace here. Appreciate everybody for watching. Appreciate everybody for listening on 90.7 FM. Go to listen, the number 2, KRDB.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, KRDP. Please like, share, comment, and support all social media platforms for KRDP and Desert Soul Media. And with that, we'll see you next week. We're out.
God bless.
Okay, you're clear?
All right. Thanks everybody for listening and watching. Peace.
Are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views.
When I first heard that, I laughed so loud.
Social Media and its board of directors. Thank you.
All
for
right,
listening.
say goodnight to your YouTube folks.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See y'all next
They
week.
can't see you, Dwayne.
Oh.
See y'all next week.
Thanks. See y'all next week.
On 90.7
Please
FM,
subscribe,
and
like,
the
share.
community online at our website. Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com. KRDP features a mix of jazz, blues, R&B, soul, and eclectic programming from the Valley community, Arizona,